there's just more stuff that's piling up, and I think it's just like this microcosm of my entire life right now. Honestly, I woke up today and I was just really annoyed. Well, actually, it wasn't this morning. Maybe like just I got annoyed today. I'm really annoyed right now. Okay. All right, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm back home. I'm in my studio. If you've been with us for a while, you'd see that on this video, my like room here keeps getting crazier and crazier. Like there's just more stuff that's piling up, and I think it's just like this microcosm of my entire life right now. Honestly, I woke up today and I was just really annoyed. Well, actually, it wasn't this morning. Maybe like just I got annoyed today. I'm really annoyed right now, okay? And I thought that I would turn this on and just start recording and talking at you guys because maybe I would capture something. I feel like a boomer or something. But like I feel like boomers are always kind of annoyed at everything. That's how I feel. Don't really know why. Actually, I can quantify it. I can tell you why I'm annoyed. I have really high cortisol levels, I think. Actually, I'm not even sure what cortisol is, but I'm pretty sure that I have it. And I don't think it's because I just started taking creatine, which I did, by the way. And that's actually crazy. That doesn't make me feel annoyed. It makes me feel like a giant, how would you say it? Like a sponge. I'm just soaking up life right now. That's how I feel. But I'm getting the bad parts and the good parts. So today was the annoying day. Okay, what did I do? This is what I did. I wrote down a list of 5 things that make me really annoyed. That's how I'm dealing with it today. So I thought that I would just sit here and read this list. And these are the things that make me annoyed. Here's my list. Let's see what we got. Okay, number 1, the overemployed subreddit. That's pretty annoying. If you have never been on it, go on it. Overemployed. Number 2, people who sell courses online on how to sell courses. That's annoying. Shouldn't do that. Sell a course on literally anything else but selling courses, because what is your inherent skill? I guess it's that sales in the like purest sense. I'm not actually selling you anything, but I am. Ooh, I don't know how to do anything. Maybe I do. You bought it, so who's the idiot? Number 3, people acting surprised that socialist guy won the Democratic primary in New York City. Stop acting surprised. You guys are idiots if you think that like this was a mistake. That people like, no. What? Quit acting surprised. Ugh. Gen Z. Not a thing. Okay. Other things that are annoying: 3:00 traffic on a weekday. Nope. Places that are really busy at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Also nope. Not allowed. And then I made another list. This is a different list, but I'm going to read it anyway. Here's my other list of IQ levels. My list of degenerate IQ levels, which goes in order, starting with number 1, sports gambling, number 2, Robinhood, and then number 3, crypto bros. Have you ever seen a crypto girl? Maybe. They probably exist somewhere. Okay. How should I go about this? Let's just go back through my list. Okay. Number 1 on the things that are making me annoyed today: the overemployed subreddit. And, here's the thing about this one. Is I don't actually fundamentally have a problem with those people, because part of me is like, oh, I should be those people. There's like a competitive component to me that says I could have like 4 jobs at once. I can do this. If you don't know what I'm talking about. So there's this subreddit. It is absolutely insane. But it's basically people who have multiple jobs at the same time. I'm not talking about, I have a 9 to 5 and then I go work the night shift at Starbucks. No, I'm like, yeah, I'm a product manager at Meta, and then I'm a sales, associate guy at Facebook. Wait, that's the same company. I don't know how corporate works. I don't even know what companies are. I'm just here. I do something for Microsoft, and then I also have this other tech job over here, and I sit on my computer and I hire a virtual assistant in Indonesia for $3.78 an hour to manage my calendar. And then I just bail on all my in-person meetings, and I have 3 jobs. That's what overemployed is. And the whole premise of being overemployed is that you can't actually tell anybody about it. Like I was reading this post about it recently about this guy who just discovered it. And then he was talking to his gym friend, his gym bro friend, about being overemployed. And the whole premise was like, like your gym friends that you only see at the gym and you don't know what their name is. You don't actually know anything about them, but you talk to them like multiple times a week, sometimes for years. They're your gym friend, right? But they're not really your friend. Or, substitute gym for whatever. You know exactly who that person is. It's like, I trust you kind of because you're around my life and you're consistent enough where I think that you're a real person, but I don't actually have any social obligation for you, or you don't have any obligation to me. So therefore I can tell you these really ridiculous things that I'm not actually allowed to tell anybody who really exists in my life, because you don't really exist in my life, but you do. It's just a weird thing. Anyway, that's what a gym friend is. So I was on this overemployed subreddit. Guy was talking about how he discovered the community through his gym friend, who he doesn't know his name, but they're friends. And that's like the only type of person you're actually allowed to talk to about it with, is his whole premise, because you can't tell other people. Maybe you can tell your spouse and maybe your parents or your sibling, maybe, but you're not really supposed to tell other people because it's very frowned upon. My question is, how do these people actually get jobs? And if you're getting like multiple jobs, like, you would think that you need to be getting these jobs that have to pay at least, let's call it 125 or something or more for it to be worthwhile. Like, what do they check LinkedIn? I really don't know. Do they use different names? Do they have an alias for each person? Oh, I go by Johnny over here and I go by Jonathan over here. And I've got different LinkedIn pages for each person, but it all ties back to the same social security number at the end of the day. So like, it shows up right on the real system, I guess, maybe. I don't know how this stuff works. And I got too far down into it, and then I decided I hated all those people. So that was something that was annoying me today. That's why my cortisol levels are pretty high. Also the 3 p.m. traffic. Well, that's at the end of the list, but it's 3 p.m. Now it's 4 p.m. Oh gosh, now it's almost 5 p.m. Time just flies when you're annoyed. There was just a lot of traffic at 3 o'clock. Like, why? It makes no sense. Where do you have to be? It's like Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Where do you have to be? It's 3 o'clock. Go like get a job or something. Or the places that are busy at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. I just feel like you're not allowed to have like a busy like establishment at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Like, do all of these people have jobs? Like, everybody complains like, oh, my life is so terrible, yada, yada, on the internet. And then they're all hanging out at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. Like, what are you supposed to like not? I don't understand. This is just annoying me. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm also on this kick right now of people who sell courses on the internet, because I think it's so funny, honestly. Because the whole premise of a course is like, hey, I learned how to do this thing so good that you should pay me for my expertise about this other thing that I learned how to do that allegedly was so good that I'm qualified to teach somebody else to do it. Like, the whole premise of a course is like, if it was so good, like the thing that I learned how to do, why can't I just do more of that? I don't get it. Like, what are the financial like misalignments in your life that cause you to go back to actually sell a course because that's more like doable than whatever else you were doing? Unless, there are some things that naturally don't make any sense to like monetize, which is okay. But then people monetize them through selling a course. Like, I guess art is like a thing like this, how to paint. Or I found this guy on YouTube the other day. I'm really into educational YouTube right now. It's also a thing that I have. But I found this guy on YouTube who does like coffee. He teaches you how to make coffee, and he has 2.35 million subscribers on YouTube teaching people how to make coffee. I can guarantee you a barista doesn't get paid as much as somebody who makes 2.3 million YouTube subscribers. I'm not very good at math, but I think that you can make some money doing that. So, okay, I understand. But people who sell courses purely out of like, hey, this is how you sell a course is wild to me. It's absolutely insane. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys, look this up. There's this girl on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Lazy Millionaire. And I clicked on it once because I was like, oh, lazy millionaire. That sounds kind of interesting. And her whole premise is actually that she's like super lazy. And she sells courses on how to sell courses. And that's what made her all this money. And it's insane. And I understand why it hits, honestly, because everybody wants to be somewhere at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and have traffic at 3 p.m. And they don't want to do anything, but they want to have all the money in the world. So just sell a course on selling a course. Maybe that market's going to get tapped out eventually, but wow, it is crazy how people can make money these days. I can't do that, but that's fine. I don't need to. I just need to be here. Sorry, I'm picking this thing off. I just need to be here, and we can just all be friends together. I don't need to make money on this. I just need to have fun and hang out with you guys who still listen to this. I can tell this is going downhill because my wife stopped listening. My parents stopped listening. Nobody cares anymore. So now it's really just you and me, which is great. It's a nice place to be. I have never been happier. I'm just annoyed today, but it's a small, like, by the time this comes out, I'll be fine. Okay. So the other day, they had the Democratic primary in New York City for the mayor. And this self-proclaimed Democratic socialist person won. In the age of Trump, mind you, we have a Democratic socialist taking over the most important city in our country. And there is a lot of people who exist on the internet. I don't know if they exist anywhere else, but they exist on the internet that are surprised by this. They are surprised that a socialist might become the mayor in New York. Those people annoy me. The people who are surprised by this. I mean, I don't really care, quite honestly. I don't live in New York. I like New York. It's great. New York is objectively one of those places where your quality of life scales up dramatically the more money that you have. It's just like one of a kinds like that, right? You know, if you and I went to go move to, I don't know, BFE, Iowa, our lives would probably be pretty similar. Whether you had way more money or way less money than me, we'd probably have about the same life. If we were in New York City, that number, our quality of life might be dramatically different. I'll just say that. And people really feel it in New York a lot differently, you know, just because I think you're kind of crammed right up next to the very, very wealthy. And there's like next level scales of wealth there that don't exist anywhere else. But they are such close proximity to like every single person. That's why everybody loves New York. But, you know, you got celebrities living on top of basically homeless people. And it's like, all right, it is what it is. But they actually have to confront it there in a different way than they would have to in like a normal place. Like in a normal place, you know, you got like the rich neighborhood and you never really go there. And every once in a while you drive around there and you go, wow, I didn't even know this place existed in my town. Who knew that these people are real? Well, in New York, they're right in front of you. And I guess people don't like that. They can't really live with that. They can't really live with like, you know, hey, there's all these tourists and there's all these rich people. I got to be like that. So socialism must be the answer. And maybe it is. I don't know. I've never lived in a socialist place. You know, he wants the government to own the grocery stores. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm actually kind of stupid. But you know what? He won. Okay. He won because he made these videos that people could relate to. That's why. It's not that complicated. I think the overriding factor that everybody needs to remember about everything is that basically in every single facet of your life, there are way more of them than there are of us. If you just think like that, you'll be fine, no matter what. There are way more of them than there are of us, no matter where you are. How do I know this is true? Case in point, I will go back to it again and again and again, the Olive Garden theory. The Olive Garden theory is very simple. When is the last time you went to Olive Garden? I don't know. You probably haven't ever been. Maybe you've been like when you were 8 years old. Who knows? How many people do you know that dine at Olive Garden regularly? You probably don't know anyone. Maybe that one really weird person that kind of knows your second cousin, but that's about it. Well, have you ever driven by an Olive Garden that has even a moderately full parking lot during prime meal hours? No, they're always jam-packed. Because why? There are way more of them than there are of us. Olive Garden is always full. It is packed all the time, and no one knows who's eating there. That's because there's way more of them than there are of us. So, these people in New York, they watch the YouTube videos. The YouTube videos get all the views. You can tell who's going to win. The guy literally made a YouTube video walking through a grocery store explaining that he's going to cut costs. You have to remember, people don't think. People don't choose to educate themselves with their free time. They just say, what's going to happen? And if this guy says, I'm going to make grocery prices go down, that is the same thing that Trump said. I'm going to make eggs come down. Guess who won both of those elections? It's not that complicated, you guys. Okay? So simplify your messaging. I don't know anything about marketing, but there you go. I probably could have charged a lot for that. He made a video. He went to the halal guys. You know, like the halal, like street vendors. He went to the street vendors selling these halal, like the meals. I don't even know what they're called, whatever. And he was like, yo, how much is that plate? He's like, that's $10. He said, it used to be $8. Why is it not $8 anymore? And then he like interviewed him and he said, this should be $8. You know what? I'm going to run for mayor and I'm going to make this $8. Boom. Stamp of approval. People love it. Easy. Why are you so surprised he won? Oh my God. This is not that difficult. Does it matter that the things that he proposes are A, probably ineffective, and B, completely like unlikely to get like passed through law? No, people don't care about that. All they want to know is, I want $8 halal. That's all they care about. So now I'm just annoyed at the people who are acting surprised that he won. Like, don't be so stupid. Sometimes smart people make things more complicated than they need to be. This is not that difficult. People are like at the base level, like very dumb. It's just true. I have this like overriding theory. There's going to be fewer and fewer people who drive society and do more things as like we just get like dumbified because we have our phones. You know, I keep seeing these like memes going around that are like, you know, screenshots of Hinge or whatever. And it's like, oh, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? And it's, you know, something basic. What do you do when you're bored? Oh, I just scroll TikTok. Like, that's what people say. You do realize that being on your phone used to not be an option. Have you ever thought about that? It was not an option not that long ago. By the way, it was not an option probably in your lifetime, unless you're like Gen Z and listening to this. God bless you, but it is possible. It was not that long ago that you literally had to like confront life and make a decision about what you were going to do. And you actually had to come to terms with the fact that if you were just going to sit there and stare at the ceiling, that was a decision you had to make because there was nothing else you could do. But now, oh, I don't know. Let me just not think. I'm going to just get on my phone. And when you do that over like many hours a day and many days a week and many weeks in a row and so on and so forth across so many people, like we are all actually literally going to become stupid. And it's going to be, there's so much friction like in our life to take action on stuff, I guess, because it's so easy to just sit there and just consume and fill yourself up with just like blankness. Like who, like, what are you even looking at on your phone? Now I'm getting on a rant. Oh, this is what people look at. The degenerate IQ levels. I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, okay, so we know like everybody has people in their life who like they think are kind of stupid, but they're also kind of crazy. And you kind of wouldn't trust them with like really anything at all. But at the same time, you wouldn't be surprised if they hit it big. We know those people, the degenerates. I've kind of decided there's 3 levels of this. And everybody kind of goes through this in this order, right? Did I already talk about this a few weeks ago? I don't care. I'm going to talk about it again. Why? Because I think it's interesting. I think it's funny because it's true. I made this up and it's true. Okay. The first level is sports gambling. It's like the easiest, widest reach. Like anybody can do it. Sports are all around you. You log into whatever the apps are. I don't even know what the apps are. Like, couldn't tell you. But you can like, you know, get a bunch of free play and then it gives you something to do. I think this is the most pure form of degeneracy because like whether or not you make money, I don't know. You probably are going to lose a bunch of money, but it's the most pure form of degeneracy because it's almost like buying your entertainment. Like they're forcing some meaning out of it. Like, oh, I've got to watch this random like Maction football game on a Tuesday because I hope the second string quarterback like hits the over or something like that. And they're like ascribing purpose to their life, and it gives them something to bond over. And like that's somebody who really like just loves to be a degenerate and they just love the sport of gambling. They just do. That's who they are. It's the most widest reaching. It doesn't matter how much money you put in or not. Like it just is. It is pure and true. It could be $1, it could be 10, but you're bought in because you love it for what it is. That's cool. But eventually some people get cooked on that and they're like, I need to go to the next thing. So they go to Robinhood. And Robinhood is different because, did you know this? 22% of people in the United States, 22% of people actually own stocks outside of their retirement plan. Whoa. Right? So Robinhood is nice because you can talk about things you don't really know anything about. Like sports are one thing because you can watch the highlights and you can watch the games. You can kind of like sort of pick up on it. It's not like you're watching the highlights of like NVIDIA's last quarter. Ooh, here's all the orders from like everybody. That's just not happening. And unless you spend so many hours, I guarantee you don't know anything about what's actually happening in finance. You might be able to watch the charts, but everybody knows charts are stupid. Except for people who actually make money off the charts, then it's not stupid. But that's not very many of them. And unless you really know what you're doing, you're just literally going to lose money. So whatever. But Robinhood is fun because it makes you feel like you're in a different like social echelon. It's like a different tier of like, I don't know, intellectualism, right? I'm in this club. The problem is if you start talking about your Robinhood account, then I automatically know that you don't have any money because anybody who says that they have Robinhood money, like automatically doesn't have money. I don't care if it's Robinhood or whatever. It can be anything. But the point is then you guaranteed don't have money. It's just true. Same thing with crypto. Crypto, although you might actually have money, I can't really tell ever. That one's a little harder to prescribe. Because it's a little more socially acceptable for me to tell you that I have $1 million in Bitcoin than it is for me to say, oh yeah, I've actually got $1 million in NVIDIA. I don't know why those are different, but they are different. So crypto is the next level because it's like the black market of finance. You know, it's not really supposed to exist. But you really want to scratch that itch and like you got to trade something at 2 a.m. or on the weekend or whatever. Cause you know, 9 to 4 during the week is just not going to cut it. I messed that up. It's 9:30 to 4 Eastern time for all of you highbrows. I speak New York. Okay. Anyway, so that's the progression. That's the natural progression. There's fewer and fewer people at every stop. I don't know what got me onto that. Fill your mind with something. Anyway, yeah, TikTok's bad. I still haven't downloaded TikTok. This might even be on TikTok. I actually don't know. But maybe I will one day. I hope I don't. It sounds terrible, to be honest. All right, I feel better. You know I got in here pretty hot, but I feel a lot better. So thanks for listening to this whole thing in its entirety. And you know, maybe we'll see you next time. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll be happy next time. I feel better though. I feel better. So thanks for being with me and good night. We'll see you next time. All right.